It's always a great pleasure when we get to pick the brain from one of the greatest coaches of all time. Haven't had a chance to talk to him in person or just in general in quite some time. And so without further ado, let us say hello to the head man over at SBG Ireland, my old friend, the one and only Coach John Kavanagh. There he is. Hello, sir. How are you? It's great to see you. How are you?
Very good,
Please have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
Great to be here.
Coach,
another new
in the
studio.
yes, you've never been to this one. You were at the last one.
Yeah, I've been in, I think.
You've been to a bunch of them. Yes.
We keep going further south.
Okay, I thought you were going to say like we keep downgrading.
No,
the way you were pointing
this
there
is amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. By the way, congratulations. I don't know. Troy Parrott. Are you familiar with Troy Parrott? Hat trick, Irish football yesterday, World Cup. I saw they changed the name of the Dublin airport to Troy Parrott as a joke, but the Twitter account did do it.
Very cool.
He scored a hat trick yesterday against Hungary.
It's funny, like
you're not a football fan.
No.
Oh,
I think it was close to 10 years ago. I gave a talk in his school.
Wow.
And a bunch of kids. So I don't know. Maybe he was at it.
That's incredible. So you know who he is.
Oh yeah. Now that you're saying it,
not a football fan. Irish football. No?
I like Gaelic football, but not soccer. As it's,
what about this? This is
Schlitter? There you go.
Is this a Schlitter? Schlitter.
Schlitter.
Yeah. Someone gave this to me at the what is it? The Black Forge Inn.
Okay.
When I was there 2 years ago,
nice.
And I like it's like a stress
Good
ball
feel
for
to
me.
it,
Yes,
yeah.
I like playing.
Yeah.
What is this? This is Gaelic football.
So that's hurling.
Hurling.
So there's two sports. Hurling.
Yes.
Where you have a weapon, and then Gaelic football is.
Yes. Okay, I screwed that up. What brings you to New York? No fighters on the card this past weekend?
No. It's sort of becoming a tradition in here this weekend. Orla's birthday is on the UFC, November 12th.
That's right.
And New York is our favorite city, so we came by, and I was very lucky. I got hooked up with tickets, went to the show. It's been a great weekend, and also an opportunity for me to meet my new boss in my new position.
Which will we get into in a moment.
Super kind to bring me in, have a little chat.
By the way, I didn't. We watched a lot of the brawl footage on Saturday. I didn't see you in there. Were you? No.
I was in the corner.
You were okay. That's a crazy scene. I hope you had nothing to do with any of that.
I
was far away.
I was up in the bleachers, so I was.
He probably could have used your help there, Dylan. Poor Dylan.
Yeah. God, yeah.
It will never die. That stuff, huh?
No, it doesn't seem to want to go away.
Yeah.
But I guess he doesn't want it to go away either.
That's right.
Spoken, but I hope he's okay.
Were you there for the entire card?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Could I just ask, what did you think of Islam?
Amazing.
Did you expect that?
No. I thought he'd have a harder time holding him down. Like Jack has proven to be really good at getting scrambles going. But to just shut him out like that, one takedown and then just pin. Maybe not the most fan-friendly style of fighting, but I really appreciate it. I love grappling. So I just thought it was incredible to be able to do that against somebody so good, going up a weight class,
Right.
And it's a big jump. 45 to 55 is, it's 10 pounds, but you're going 55 to 70, it's 15.
Huge.
It's big. So I was actually out with Jack last night, and like he's a big unit, he's a big man. But he said himself, he was kind of shocked at just.
How's he handling it? Bummed.
It's
nothing
you say is going to make it feel any better, but
he seemed deflated.
Yeah, and even last night he was obviously still down in the dumps, but his wife is there, his kids, and he'll pick himself up and he'll go again, I'm sure.
Was that your first time as a spectator at MSG, or had you been before?
First time as spectator. I did obviously Conor's fight there, and then Mac Wan fought there. I think Gunnar Nelson, did he maybe fight there?
I was just wondering, like,
it's certainly my first time going as a fan.
So you were there, main event, and now to be a fan, is that weird for you? Is it strange to be in attendance? You know what it's like in the back. I don't know if you're like replaying moments.
Definitely. You still they cut to the back room and they're getting their hands wrapped, and like what it's like at that moment. A bit of a warm up. The big breath as they start doing their walk. So it's. I still feel myself getting a little bit of jitters, although I have nothing to do with it. But it was nice to be able to just enjoy the fights as well.
Old memories coming back, right?
Oh wow, yeah, some incredible times here,
huh? I couldn't help but feel like when Islam, and I don't know if they were doing it on purpose or not, but when Islam got on the cage with the two belts, it looked like the exact same picture, right?
Yeah.
Like we even put them side by side, and it was 10 events later. It's the 10th annual UFC at MSG in November.
Wow.
It's a double champion from when Conor did it.
Yeah.
And it looked like a carbon copy. I don't know if that struck you in the moment.
Yeah, now that you say that, we were definitely
I mean, look at this. Does that not look like the same shot?
Oh, wow.
It's literally the same shot. Top of the cage, the 2 belts.
Amazing.
Just different belts.
Different belts, yeah, the new style now. Yeah. Some good nights there.
Yes.
Good nights there indeed.
Okay, so you mentioned your new boss.
Yes.
What is this? What is this? What are we talking about?
So Upper Sports Management is an MMA management team. And Caesar, I kind of know him from events and some other stuff. And he reached out to me about running the European branch of the company. And I've never kind of managed, per se. Professionally, I look after plenty of my guys, but this is my first time. So I said, yep, I'll give it a go. But what I really wanted to do and what I pitched to him was an idea on how we could give novice pros the number one thing that they need, which is very hard to get at the start, and that's fights, fight offers, opportunities. So what we've done is we've created a website that any pro, any novice pro can go to it, novice or not. They can upload a profile for free, there's no charge. And then on the other side, let's say you're a promoter and you're running a show in Germany and you're struggling to get somebody to face your 55er, you go onto the site, you will search by region, go to Germany, male, 170, and the list of guys in that area that are available to fight is there. One click, send them a fight offer, and we help, make that happen, small booking fee, and that's it.
Wow.
So using technology to get fighters connected with promoters. At the moment, it's done. I actually kind of did this to solve this problem for myself, because at the moment, you've got a guy who's training his butt off in the gym, and he's gone months, and he's asking his coach, any chance of a fight, and he's like, well, I'm trying. Now we're just cutting out that middleman, so we just can connect them directly. They upload their profile, and then, I was asking Grok there, there's about 40 or 50 shows every weekend around the world at this stage, and it's only going up. So that's between 400 or 500 fights, 1,000 fighters every weekend going out. And I just know from having done this for long and speaking to other coaches, the most difficult thing to do is to get novice pros to first few fights. In boxing, it's an absolute nightmare. Like, I've heard of stories back home where novice pros have to pay a couple of thousand to get their first professional boxing bout. We don't have that in MMA. But it is very hard. And when people think of MMA managers, they're thinking of like someone who's already in the UFC and they need, renegotiating a big deal. But let's go right back to where someone's 0-0 or 1-0, and he's in the smallest gym that maybe the coach doesn't have, great network, and he's not in something like ATT, or he's in one of the other 100,000 gyms that's around the world. So this is a way that he can get himself out there. We'll do our best to flood his inbox with offers. He chooses the fights, him and his coach, that makes sense to him. There's no contract. They're not, stuck with it or anything. They can just come in and out as they see fit. As time goes on, and now the guy's 10-0, and he's getting ready to maybe go for UFC or PFL. And if they wish, we can take on a more comprehensive management. But at the moment, I'm really excited about it. We've been testing it. It's working well. We've had quite a few fighters sign up already. So if there's any fighter out there who is training away and is struggling to get opportunities, uppersportsmanagement.com, go there, upload your profile. It's no charge. All that's going to come of it is you'll get some fight offers, and then it's up to you. You pick them or not. But I think it's a cool way to help novice pros get going, get started.
Okay, so taking a step back for a moment, because it's a big jump from doing what you were doing to now this. So Caesar reaches out, and Caesar's going to join us in a moment as well. Caesar Lintz?
Yep.
Is that the correct way of pronouncing his last name?
I think it's Gomez, but I know he's Caesar Lintz on Instagram.
Okay, I will
we'll have
ask
to find
him,
it out.
But I've known him for quite some time with the likes of Michael Morales
Sure.
and others. How does it happen to where he's like, hey, John, you want to do this? And how long does it take for you to say, like, yeah, I would like to do this? Because I would imagine you're fairly busy as is already.
Yeah. No, I am. And it was... I wanted to do it because I've like I said, I've kind of done it as an amateur, if you will, for a lot of my guys anyway. So I kind of wanted to learn more about it, and the guys in upper sports have been great, and just the legal side of things and how to conduct yourself. So I'm kind of learning that side of the business. So it's sort of like learning a new skill. It's always somewhat interesting to expand on it. But if I'm being honest, my real idea was to try to get this website going that we can, because I've got a few guys, let's say in PFL, Kieran Clark, Derek Kelly, these guys are like 10-0, 10-1. They're fine. Caesar kind of look after them, and he can help with negotiating their next contract. But the ones I'm struggling with are the guys that are 0-0 or 1-0, and you're dealing with the European shows, and sometimes they may want to put them on, sometimes they won't. This is a way of getting in front of every show. So, if you're a promoter and you might have your top few fights already booked, but the undercard, you have your local ticket seller and you need somebody 170, what do? You start ringing around different managers, ringing around different gyms. Now you just go to one site, mail 170, whatever region you're in. Here's your 3 guys that are available. Send them an offer. Bang. It's kind of like with my other business, MMA.Inc., we connected millions of fans with hundreds of thousands of gyms. And with this, we're connecting fighters with promoters. And I think it's kind of like now the way we use Booking.com or Uber, this will become just an obvious way of solving the problem on both ends. Fighters are looking for more opportunities. Promoters are struggling to fill fight cards. This will go in the middle, solve it.
So what's in it for you guys? Because you say there's no charge, right?
Yeah, so there's no charge to list. There's no charge for promoters to go on. And then there's a 5% fee on the purse.
Okay.
And it's just a one-off fee. Like I said, when the fight's over, you can stay on the website if you want. You can go out if you want. But you're not signing any kind of long-term deal with Upper Sports. If in time, because there's not really any point in a pro who's 2-1 having a manager, like, there's no sponsorship deals at that stage of your career. You're plenty of fights away before you go for something big. If you're in Germany, you're going to be fighting on the local scene there until you get to a certain stage. So this is kind of a way of having a manager, but at a much lower rate, and it's a manager who's working all the time because your profile is there for any promoter to look for. If they have, especially around Europe, just because you're training and working out of Germany and there's a show on in Spain, the promoter in Spain can search all of Europe and see, oh, it's only €100 to fly this guy in. So I just think, I know for my own sake, and I know from speaking to other coaches, it kind of solves a big problem of getting your novice pros some fight offers that we struggle to get them. Then when they get up to a certain level, that's when Caesar and the kind of more experienced guys can work with Hunter or, Mike Hogan, whoever they're dealing with, to get them onto the big show.
And so how do I stick out? Like, so let's say I'm 0-0.
Yeah.
I upload, am I uploading highlights? What will make you sign me as a promoter, being like, oh, this is an appropriate guy for my card, when you're just a name on a website?
Well, so let's say like when people run a show, I keep saying Germany, but you run the show in whatever, any city, you probably have a local gym you work with, and there's a few good ticket sellers. Let's not think UFC, PFL. I'm talking.
You're talking Octagon.
Exactly.
Those guys. KSW,
any of those
Cage
type
Warriors.
Of shows. Yeah. So they have their main and co-main done, but they still have another 10 or 12 fights to put on.
Right.
And out of one gym, the guy says, look, I have a 2-0, 170 guy. If you can get me somebody with similar record, let's make the match. I go on the site. I search for 170 in that region. 3 guys come up. One is 6-1, one is 1-0, and the other goes 2-0. I send them to the other team. Hey coach, which of these guys would you think is a fair matchup? This guy, boom, 2-0 guy.
Okay.
We shoot him an offer. If it all makes sense, handshake, contract, fight, move on to the next one.
Would you say this is European based for now?
So that was the original idea. I was doing this for Europe, but I can see it's going to be global soon. We sort of live in a village now, globally. Yeah. But that was the idea originally, because you have a lot of promotions around Europe, and obviously a lot of small countries dotted together, and sometimes it can be difficult for Octagon if they're running a show in Czech and they don't know that there's a French guy who's 1-0 that would be a perfect matchup for one of their undercard guys. Here's how they can look for European-based fighters, get guys have a similar record, just to fill those undercard spots until the guys get up to the stage where they're headlining an Octagon event or maybe moving on to UFC or PFL or whatever. So
I saw the announcement when you linked up with Upper Sports Management, and it sort of categorized you as like, the European-based guy for them, right? Mm-hmm. Because I know Caesar is more Latin America.
Yes.
Are you representing fighters as well?
Yeah.
So how is that working?
So that was originally why I was brought on.
Yeah.
Just to seek talent around Europe, those guys that are kind of knocking on the door of the big shows. I sort of went down the rabbit hole with this idea, and that's all I've been doing, working with web developer for the last couple of months. Okay. We're ready to launch now, and you're very kind to bring us on here. I now will kind of go back and start doing that as well. Oh. So I will be looking for guys that are looking to join the team and get the full management services that Upper Sports provide. And because the website thing will kind of self-run once it's up and going, you know, it's kind of light touch for us. We just have a big database of fighters. Promoters create their own page. They connect. We're kind of in the background.
Okay.
Just help them, you know, get paid and stuff like that. But other than that, it's sort of just ticking away in the background. If we've a couple of thousand fighters on that and a few start getting to the stage of where, you know, this guy's 10-0 with 9 stoppages, we can reach out to him and say, hey, do you want to come on board now with the full management package with Upper Sports? And with that, you know, a lot more time with Caesar and Chema and the guys. We'll start knocking on the doors of the, whether it's UFC or PFL, and getting you those big paydays. But at the lower level, like I said, it's very light touch. We don't really have to. It took a while to get it going. There was a lot of work that had to be done to get it to the stage of being able to announce it now. But after that, it will sort of just, you know, like I said, you know, like Uber is just an app you use just to get a taxi. It just connects people who want to travel with people who have cars, and this is going to connect fighters with promoters almost directly. And, you know, the fighter's free to move around any promotions he wants, work around any manager he wants. But I think if they're with us in the early stages and they see what we do a good job, and Caesar's a great guy, and we're, you know, that's really was one of the reasons. Because originally when he called me about the job offer, he was actually asking me for advice on who would I think would be good to do it around Europe. He wasn't even talking about me. And I just liked some of the things he was saying, and we were about a half an hour into the conversation, and then we kind of almost penny dropped for both. I kind of went, hey, why don't I give it a go? I'll try for 6 months. If you don't think I'm doing a good job, you know, fire me. I won't take it personally. And ever since then, I've hit it off with him. I deal with Chema a lot. We get on really well. So I'm having fun with it. Something different.
So between this and MMA Inc., which used to be Train Alta, which used to be Whip to Warrior, are we still MMA Inc. now?
MMA Inc.
Okay.
Yeah. MMA on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, amazing. And SBG. How are you doing all of this?
I'm lucky that like for the gym especially, I have you know, Nate the Great, his mother.
Okay.
Sarah Kelly, she runs the gym for me, takes a hell of a lot of the workload off me. It has been pretty hectic with MMA.Inc., you know, since we got listed, and I do a lot of like pitch calls with Nick to different investment groups, so that can take up a bit of time. Like I said, with this, I haven't really started, you know, I've not been like managing any of the fighters yet because I've been working on the sort of novice pro idea. And then obviously big fight team, about 50 fighters, and looks like the other fella might be up in June. So it's hectic, but.
Have you had to take a bit of a step back from coaching at all as a result of all
Well,
this?
I'm very lucky that the other guy that runs the team with me, Dave Roach, he's been absolutely incredible, and he's really helped with doing a lot of the international fights. So I still will go. Maybe there's probably once a month I'm somewhere, but he's like what I used to do, basically every weekend you're just living out of a suitcase, whereas he does a lot of that now, and there's just a handful of guys that I will travel with. So
was that a conscious decision on your part?
Yeah, I did. I hired him pretty much when Conor was born. I didn't want to be that guy that didn't see his kids. You know?
Right.
So he's been fantastic, and it just means I have basically my weekends are more or less free. You know, probably one weekend out of a month I'll be at a show, but I didn't want to, you know, kind of blink and suddenly Connor's 10, you know, so it's given me some free time to be able to.
Well, soon he'll be able to upload some stuff. Your son will be able to upload some stuff on the website, because I saw him with the gi on there.
Yes.
How old is he now?
He's 5.
Look at this young man, looking just like his old man there.
Very
Look
cool.
at this.
Yeah,
looks fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's.
What's he doing? Jiu-jitsu?
So he does jiu-jitsu and we don't call it Thai boxing, but he's learning some punches and kicks. But he's obsessed with the gym now. I didn't want to, you know, he don't want to be that dad, you know, drag him down. So I was always very kind of light touch. Do you want to come down? And first few times, no, and then I'll go down and watch. And now it's like every day I always pick him up from school. It's like, is it gym today? And you know, because we go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if it's a Tuesday, I'd be like, no, not today. And he's like, But I think the number one reason he likes going is that the coach, after the session, they do this game called Helicopter. You stand in the middle of the mat with a jiu-jitsu belt, and you know, like a helicopter, and all the kids have to run across, and he will try and clip their ankle. And Connell is obsessed with this game. You know, that's his big thing, is that if he's going to play helicopter today, and then as soon as we get home from the gym, it's like in the hallway, and he hands me a belt. helicopter go.
Wow.
So
he has to jump over it.
yeah,
Not get hit.
you're kind of spinning it like the rotor of a helicopter, and he has to get from one side of the room to the other and get over it.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. Like, and even in the last couple of months, is like his bit of coordination, being able to jump. There's a few little skills involved in being able to do that. He's so competitive about it. It's just
Do you
cracks me
think?
up.
I know it's 5. I know he's very young, but do you think we're moving down the path where he follows in your footsteps?
He does love it, and he is picking it up. But I would say, even though Patrick's only 1.5, he has like. He's like, it just hits everybody. He gets a bit. He's sort of he gets frustrated because he can't communicate. And I don't know. I don't know if you saw, but I put up a video. He's on a punch bag, and then he just grabs it and starts like headbutting it. And I'm like, that's probably gonna be.
How does your wife feel about this?
She's all for it.
Okay,
She
all right.
loves to see them training. She knows what martial arts does for young
right.
men. It's a great outlet, and it's no harm in being able to protect yourself. If it does get to the stage of him wanting to fight, I probably will put a lot of pressure on him to stay amateur. And if he does want to go pro, he'll have to go through hell. He'll have to be very well prepared going in there. I'm just imagining now, looking at him being hit. It'd be tough to watch.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, it's one thing when you love one of your fighters, but when it's your actual son, who wants to go through this? Okay, let's bring in Caesar. Shall we bring him in? I've talked to Caesar a lot. I've bothered him a lot. The boys will bring him in here in a second via WhatsApp, but I don't think we've ever actually formally met. There he is. How are you, sir? Wow. Nice to meet you, Caesar. Have we met in person before?
Not in person.
Not in person. Nice to meet you, my friend.
How are you?
Welcome.
You're a present from Mexico.
Oh, thank you.
It's about mezcal.
Wow.
Enjoy.
They're going to drink it in one shot, these guys in the back. Thank you.
That's 5 years aged. It's the best
Wow.
of the best for
That's
you
the
to
good
enjoy.
stuff.
Muchas gracias.
Nice to meet you in
Did
person.
I say that right? Muchas
Yes,
gracias?
perfect.
Okay, and how do you pronounce your last name?
Gomez Lindsay.
Gomez Lintz. Okay, I wanted to make sure. And try to come, maybe if you want to scooch, Coach, right
Yep.
over there to give.
here?
Okay, yes. I hope that's okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you in person.
meet you in person.
Congrats on all your success. You've been in the MMA game for the last few years now. I think we first met maybe when you were working with Yair.
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes.
How many fighters are now part of Upper Sports Management?
So we have, in general, 70-something fighters. I have 8 guys in the UFC. We started doing this probably around 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you get into this?
So my family has always loved the sport, and I always wanted to help out to grow the Mexican fighters, get them to the big leagues. And we've been doing great. And there was a time where we didn't have guys in the UFC. We started getting them there, and then we wanted to go global. Once we conquered Mexico and Latin America, we wanted to go global, and that's when we called John, and we felt like he was the guy for the job.
Okay, so you're based in Mexico?
We're based in Mexico.
And so initially you were focused on more of the Mexican, Latin American fighters, right?
Yes.
And so when do you make the decision that now you want to start branching out that eventually leads to you reaching out to John?
So we started just in Mexico, and then when everything was doing good, we said, why stay just in Mexico? Let's go to Latin America. And after that, I think it was the goal to make this not just a Mexican and Latin management firm, just expand.
Okay.
And it's been great.
So of those 70 fighters now that you represent, how many are from outside of that region?
I don't have the specific number, but we have from all over Mexico, all over Latin America. We have a lot of good talent in Mexico. We work with a fighting league called Lux Fight League, which we use to grow the fighters and make sure they have the opportunities to do what they love, so we can take them into the next stage, which is big leagues, PFL, UFC, all over the world.
What is the ultimate goal now? So Europe, obviously with John, other parts of the world, right? Other regions. Where do you want upper management to be? Where Upper Sports Management? What is the ultimate goal here?
My goal is to make upper sports management not just another management firm, but the management firm. I want to change the sport. We have a more human way to approach the fighters. I feel a lot of management firms like treat them more like if it were like product, and we try to do it like in the human way, like help them not just inside the cage, just like explain like how to grow outside of the cage as well, like make them like businessmen, shows them the way. And I feel like as long as you're changing their lives, like everything is going to be beneficial for everyone. Yes.
The fighters that you have now in the UFC, who are they?
So I work with Manuel Torres, Daniel Selhuber, Yasmin Jauregui, Michael Morales, Jesus Aguilar, like, and right now we got like 3 guys that fought in Contender, Ramiro, one of the Luna twins, and Searcher. So we're doing very good.
So this was a big weekend for you guys.
It's a big weekend.
Yes.
It was always a goal of mine to close a fight in the biggest stage, which is the Madison Square Garden.
So what was it like for you to have one of your fighters compete and win like that on such a big stage? There you are. Look at you over there.
Yes, with Michael, it was great.
He said before the fight, I was like, what do you reckon? You know, this is a real big test. And he said, first round knockout.
Really?
I was like, you serious?
Yes.
You don't think it's going to? He said, no, I'll be quick. Bang. It was very impressive.
Incredible. Yeah. And there are some of the highlights right there. What was that like for you to see one of your own do that to a tremendous fighter in Sean Brady?
It was great. I feel like it's going to be very close for us to get the belt soon. I feel this was like the great way to cement what we're trying to do right now. It's just like we didn't come here to win. We wanted to make a statement, and the statement was made.
I feel like Michael has really become a superstar.
Yes.
Like in the Spider-Man outfit
Yes.
throughout the week, and just like the way he conducts himself, the way he looks, the way he was at the press conference with the jacket, and then he takes it off. Like he looks like a star. And it sounds to me like in Ecuador, he's really becoming a huge star. I understand the Ecuador football team invited him tomorrow because they're in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
They're playing. So like this is great validation for him. How big is he getting over in Latin America, and in particular Ecuador?
He's huge. He's a rock star in Latin America. Everyone loves him. The way he fights, he's a stud. Like not every fighter like delivers like he does. So the fact that he came to the Madison Square Garden and just knocked out Brady was something great.
Yeah, he looks like a stud. Like
Yeah.
Also, he looks like he's a light heavyweight in there with a lightweight.
Enormous. Yeah. I
think
think
it's
style-wise and the way he moves, I think he could give Islam a really good test.
Okay. How would you break that down, Coach? Mike. And by the way, move the mic just
Sorry,
a little bit
yeah.
closer to you there. Yeah, we had to pull here. Let me help you. It's a little DIY. Here you go. Don't be shy. You're familiar. How would you break that down? Because I think a lot of people are saying with his judo background and with his size, he could be the guy.
Yeah, actually, Caesar was saying that he has really good grappling. It's just that we haven't seen it. He doesn't have to use it. And obviously, his mother was a very high-level judo player herself. But size-wise and range-wise, there was just something about him that made it look like Brady couldn't even begin a shot. He's kind of crouched down, pushing. He's very rangy. Obviously, hits really, really hard. So I think that'll be a very interesting one.
I love the relationship with him and his mother.
Yes.
Like seeing his mother at the Apex shows and then seeing her in Madison Square Garden all the way there. They found her. It's beautiful to see someone come. And how did you first link up with Michael? How did you first meet him? And where does he come from? Like, could you tell us about his background?
Yeah, so I started working with Michael thanks to his coach, which is Raul Arvizu. We are like working together with the Entram Gym. It's like an alliance we made in Mexico to like grow this. We have like the same goals, which is to grow the sport and do big things. So it was just a matter of time for us to like start working together.
Okay.
The Entram Gym is the gym in Tijuana,
Okay.
where they have like most of the guys in the UFC.
Okay. It's interesting because not that long ago, Mexico was synonymous with boxing, even lucha libre, not so much MMA. So how did you get into all of this? How did you become such a big fan to where you want to actually work in this business?
I always loved the sport. I grew up training, like Taekwondo, Krav Maga, a little bit of boxing. I train right now Muay Thai, and I love striking. So Mexicans, they're born with stones in their hands. Everyone wants to throw hands. So I always wanted to do my part and just like get them somewhere. I started working with fighters and just helping them. And
Wow.
the rest is history.
You're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it. I love the fight game. I love to be in the bands. It's the most fun job in the world, right?
You've been around some managers, John, in your day.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Caesar and some of the others?
Yeah, well, you definitely get that sense from that he's doing this, number one, because it's fun and he enjoys it. He loves working with fighters. And that just came across so strongly when we were chatting. Like I said, how the offer came about was he kind of was looking for some advice, and maybe there's someone based in Europe. And just the way he was talking and the way I was talking, it suddenly was like, why not me? Why don't I give it a go? So I've had a lot of fun so far working with him, and I'm looking for. And he, when I came to him with this idea with the website, he was fully supporting it right from the start. He's like, oh, that's a great idea to get the novice pros getting going, and then so it's easy.
So John told us about this website. Why were you interested in it? Because initially that wasn't why you were reaching out, but it sounds like he kind of pitched you on it. Yes. Why was this an idea that you liked?
Well, it's very innovative. No one is doing that. And I was talking with John the other day, and he's telling me like he's got this crazy idea, a little bit like Uber.
Yeah.
So we're like, why don't we give it a go? We want to be like the first ones, like be doing things that no one is doing. And we're going to be changing lives, helping the fighters out. And I feel like, I told John, like, when you came into Upper, like, you have a voice here. So if you feel like that's the way, we trust you 100%. I think we're going to be doing great things together. If you think that's the way, let's go.
When you first got into this, did you talk to some of the fighters, or did you look at some of the other managers? And did you learn about some things that you want to do, what you didn't want to do, what's working, what's not working, to develop the way you want to treat the fighters?
So I see these other managers, and I try to take a look at what they're doing, and I try to do my stuff like my own way, because there's some things that I don't like that is going on in the fight
like what?
game.
Tell us.
A lot of managers just get like, let's say, short notices, and just like see the fighters as products. Like, I'm gonna send you here, maybe you get beat up, but we charge a percentage and this and that. And I don't live off the fight game. Like, I do this genuinely out of love. I want to like really change the game. I'm here for history. I wanna be known as one of the greatest managers in MMA. So that was my goal, and that's what we're doing.
One issue that I sometimes have with managers is that I feel like some managers, care more about their relationship with the UFC than their relationship with the fighters. So ultimately, as long as they're in good standing with the UFC, they're happy about that, and they'll do whatever to keep that relationship strong. And, if there's a few casualties along the way with the fighters, so be it. They're a dime a dozen. I feel like that's the sentiment. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You're shaking your head. So how do you, because ultimately I was talking to one fighter who told me, like, I don't want my manager to be best friends with the UFC. I want the UFC to respect them, but it's good sometimes when there's some friction, because that means he's fighting on my behalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you balance the two?
Well, I think you always have to put your fighter first, because, I mean, if he's not doing things correctly, if he's not fighting properly, the UFC is not going to give them opportunities. But you just have to make sure, like, everything. We try to be as transparent as we can, show them the way. Like, sometimes for a fighter, if they do things properly, the UFC sees that in them and they help them out or whatever. But I just you're always looking for your fighter, making sure he's all right and taken care of. And I feel like if you do that, it's just going to be easy to work with.
And so now with the rise of MMA, and in particular in Latin America, are you starting to feel that maybe it's not quite at the level of boxing, but it's getting closer in terms of what young kids want to do, the way it's being talked about, covered in Mexico and around the region?
Yes, like I really feel like everyone is putting an eye on Mexico right now, and Latin Americans. These last couple of years, with what they made with the Sphere, with Noche UFC, all those events, which I'm very grateful, because whenever there's something in Mexico, let's say a fight in Mexico City or even in Noche, the UFC always puts us on the map. Like, they always call Upper when they need some good Latin Americans. So it's good. It's fun.
How's the PI? Have you been to the PI in Mexico?
The PI is good. It got burned like...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it got burned like 4 months ago.
Is it not open?
It's not open yet. They're training up another gym, but they're doing great things for the athletes. They're like really helping them out, and they're investing a lot in what's Latin American talent.
Okay. John, you mentioned earlier about like the amount of events a weekend, and then per month, and then per year. But I feel, at least in North America, like the amount of regional shows has diminished post-COVID.
Yeah.
And so how would you describe it in Europe right now?
Yeah, so Europe has so many more, seems to have so many more shows than the States. I don't know whether at the lower end it's very difficult for promoters here with athletic commissions and everything. It's a little bit freer in Europe, how all that works.
You think that's it?
Could be.
Yeah.
I think like the baseline fee for trying to run, a local MMA show here, it's probably in the tens of thousands by the time you get licenses and all that. Whereas in Europe, you could just run a show this weekend if you want. There's not really, much to be done there. But Europe right now, I've always sent you some of the clips from like Octagon. They have 50 or 60,000 people coming to every show. KSW, kind of, it's sort of Polish only, but again, 40, 50,000. WoW FC coming out of Spain now, they're aiming to put on a show every other week.
That's the one with Ilya.
Ilya
involved.
is involved with it. Obviously, Cage Warriors been around forever. But I would say the European scene at the moment is really, really buzzing. You've got multiple organizations that are all selling between 20 and 40,000 tickets every time they run an event.
Crazy.
And it's very, as well, when you go to one of those shows, it's a different feel than coming to a show over here in terms of the audience. It's families. They almost treat it like tailgating before the fight. The family comes along, they hang out in the car park, and then that evening it's mom, dad, 2 kids. It's when the camera goes around the crowd in Octagon, for example, or even WFC as well. It has a very different feel than here. It's kind of young men, just bleed.
No, it's still the same. What's interesting to me is I've talked to some fans who say like they have friends. Obviously, they're fans of the show or whatever, but like in those regions, whether it's like Czech Republic, Germany, Poland, there are people who are KSW, Octagon fans who don't know anything about the UFC. Like
Correct.
Those stars are bigger.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like we
I
hardly even know
never
who
thought
they
that
are.
could happen.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it
feels like for a European up-and-comer, there are more opportunities right now than if you were an up-and-comer in the States. Like here, there's like there's a couple on the Northeast, there's a couple on the West Coast, but there's not as much.
I always kind of wondered how kind of Americans got, it's kind of the idea of the site, like, how are they going to get the first 10 fights? It's one thing if you're I know Bo Nichols on here, if you're a star like him from wrestling and you get recruited by one of the big teams, fine. But if you're just training in a local MMA gym in Ohio or something, like, how does that coach get you onto those early cards? It's not easy. Whereas in Europe, there's literally a bunch of shows happening every weekend in multiple cities across Europe, and once you're in Europe, it's a couple €100 to fly anywhere. So it can make economic sense for promoters to bring guys in from all over Europe. But the fan base, I really feel at the moment, is just skyrocketing.
Okay, so Caesar, let's do a little practice here, okay? My name is Hunter Campbell.
Yes.
And I'm trying to decide who's next for Islam. Why is your guy the guy who should be next, Michael Morales?
I mean, he finished in the first round in an amazing fashion, and he's got everything. Like, if you guys want to conquer Latin America, have like a Latin fighter as a champion, I feel like he checks everything. He's fun, he's muscular, he finishes. That's what's important. Like, most champions that the UFC wants, they need to be finishing them fights like these guys are. So, I don't know, like, there's like a lot of fun in the welterweight division right now. I think like the guy that should be next would be Morales, obviously. We have to see what's going to happen this weekend with Mohammed and Gary. And, I mean, Pratis as well. But I feel like the man that should be next would be Michael.
Also undefeated.
Yes, I mean, he's
not
undefeated.
bad.
Yeah.
What else would you want in a champion?
Right.
It's kind of a nice story, his mom.
It's brilliant.
Start him off, and she's always at the show. It's a bit of a
brilliant
spin on it. He brings an entire country with him. He's the number one guy in his country.
I do wonder though if Ian wins this weekend, especially via like dominant knockout or something. I wonder if they give it to him because he's been on a roll, and they do Carlos versus Michael. Would you be okay with that? Would you think that's fair?
Well, we will have to sit down with the team and see what they want, but I mean, that would be a very fun fight.
And I'm very close with Ian.
Yes,
so,
yes. He just did a seminar. I think at SPG.
In my gym, yeah.
It was nice to see him back, like in Ireland.
Yeah, no. Every time he's in Ireland, he always drops in, and we said, "Look, why not pass on some of the knowledge?" And what I thought was cool was it was a great seminar, obviously, but he sat on the mats for 2 hours afterwards with a Q&A.
Wow.
With 60, 70 people. Some of them are just starting their journey, and really good insights. He's a super smart guy. Really good insights on what got him through some losses, how he kind of navigated that scene to get from Cage Warriors to UFC and so on. So yeah, always very fond of.
It would be great to see him get an opportunity to fight in Ireland. I don't know if he's past that point now. I know the UFC hasn't been back, but to see him have that connection with the country. I know he doesn't live there, so maybe it's not viewed as the same. But it would be nice to see the Irish get behind him like they have the others, right?
Yeah, it would be awesome.
We've been talking for about 50 minutes now. I haven't asked you a single question about Mr. McGregor.
Perfect.
But you did allude to him, so you opened the door ever so slightly, but I parked it. Is this happening? What's going on? What could you tell us?
I could tell us on our end, we're 100% in. You know, he's asked me to basically lay out a program between now and June of how we'll ramp up our training. He's showing up again. He's back in the gym most mornings early.
Wow.
And yeah, he's having fun with it. But I got a bunch of messages after the show on Saturday night. He wants to fight everybody.
Yeah.
But certainly he wants to get on that card. So how it works from a management point of view, that's between them.
Sure.
So I don't really get involved in that. But from a training point of view, he's already tasked me with putting together, a team of suitable training partners. We'll do some of it in the gym, some of it in his house. So he's fully locked in that we're going to be making the walk in, 6-7 months?
Yeah. So you believe it?
Like I said, if it's Conor's choice, he's in. I don't know how it will work with the UFC. I don't know,
Sure.
how all that will go.
But you sense like a motivation.
Oh, it's like,
the
last one we were so freaking close until he clipped Tristan on the elbow. So look, we just got to get back there again. I think, Chandler's he's not being quiet about wanting to be that guy. I think the matchup makes sense. I think it'd be a fun one.
You like it? That would be.
Oh,
okay
I'd love it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they kind of have a bit of a spark between them. They've done some stuff together before. I think it'd be a fun fight week. press conference, all of that. Style wise, that kind of shorter, stocky wrestler. He's faced a few of those in his day, and I'm in the mindset that that's what we're doing. So we're already beginning our training.
Okay. And we tend to overanalyze everything that he does. The fact that he hasn't been on social media, I kind of view as a good thing, right? No distractions.
Yeah.
Not getting too like.
I'm not saying anything that he hasn't already said himself, but he had a bit of a kind of a spiritual awakening, a bit of a journey, and he's a bit of a different vibe with him. At this stage, and like a lot of times he comes to the gym, he's bringing the family are coming down. It's a bit of a it's a family day out, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
And could I ask? He did talk about when he had the injury. He said like there was a bit of like a mental lapse. Like I let my guard. The way he describes the injury is interesting because he says, from your perspective, what went wrong there?
One thing we always did was his partners would always wear elbow pads. Because he throws a lot of those kicks to the belly, and if you're blocking it with your elbow. And the day that we were there, the UFC crew was in. They were filming him, and we had a spar laid out with the great Tristan from Canada, great wrestler. And between talking with John and the UFC crew and Conor getting ready, I just forgot to put the elbow pads on Tristan. So the round's already going, and I was like, it'll be okay, just this one time. Whoom. I saw it go in. It happened in we're doing a 5-rounder. It was like, let's say it was round 2, he did it. And in between rounds, he was like really, because we do these like simulation fights every week, and we treat it like it's a fight, so he's sitting in the corner, and it's as though he's like not wanting the camera crew to hear. He just leans in and goes, my foot's broke. And I'm like, okay, Conor, we're not actually in a fight now, so let's just stop it. And he goes, no, I have to finish it, but I'm just letting you know. And I was like, maybe, you can't quite tell if your foot's broke without an x-ray. So I just hoped it was a bruise. He went out, did the 3 more rounds.
Oh, geez.
And then, one of his memes, my foot was a balloon.
Yeah.
It did blow up then, as he kind of, fighters will know that when you're in the height of sparring, you have all those nice pain-killing hormones rushing through your body. It's that night when you start calming down, then suddenly it's throbbing, and then he sent me pictures of it, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe it. Like that was one of the last spars. Everything had been going so well. So that's I'll jump on that grenade. That was me. I should have had the pads on him, but we will be 100% this time.
Right.
We will
and
no
that was
mistakes.
like 3 weeks out, right?
Yeah. It was just when we were sort of getting ready to travel. Where was that car? It was in the States.
Vegas.
Yeah. So we were kind of getting everything ready to travel and start winding down. The spar itself went really well. Tristan's he's a little bit similar to Chandler, kind of size build wise, and some of the things we were working were really good. It's just one of those ones. Everything was going really well until it wasn't. But hey, these things happen for a reason, maybe. And now we have that, hopefully that same fight lined up, and to do it on the US's birthday in the White House,
Crazy.
You still have to think like, is this real?
Yes.
What's better?
Yeah,
I
what
don't
is
think
better
it gets.
than that?
Yes.
God.
Apparently, like the warm-up room is the Oval Office, like so. You warm up there, walk across the lawn, and fight in front of it'd be crazy.
What a life.
And it's such a historic card. I feel like once in a lifetime experience, like what happened, like in the Sphere, like these cards that you don't want to miss.
Of course.
So who could be the best man to be there but Conor McGregor?
Have you met him?
Once in Miami.
Okay. How was that?
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, liked him. I mean, we're already part of the team.
Yes.
So,
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
29.
Wow.
Yes.
A young buck.
I know.
I feel like the youngest one to ever do it in the MMA sport.
You're pretty damn young, yeah. And you started 6 years ago, so you were like 23.
Yes.
Jeez Louise.
It's fun.
You like it?
I've been doing everything that I wanted to, like being able to close fights in Mexico, the Sphere, Madison Square Gardens. I'm accomplishing all my goals, so I'm enjoying the process, and I feel like we're changing the sport, so it's always good.
And again, thank you very much for this very nice gift. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think your family is involved in this world, right?
We make the mezcal in Oaxaca.
Okay.
We help a lot of communities, and we do a lot for the people. We actually have a MMA gym for the community in Oaxaca where we take the kids out of the streets, give them opportunities, show them the way, like don't do drugs, do things properly.
Yes.
Yes.
So do you work in this business too, or
Yes.
Okay, so you have many different hats.
I'm a businessman, a young businessman, not
Okay.
only in MMA.
Which do you like better?
It's always fun to be in the MMA game.
fun,
to
right?
Be
The
honest.
rush.
Yeah, the rush. When you see your people going and fighting, the wins, the losses. I mean, we're with them through thick and thin.
Yeah. I have heard, I've never managed or coached anyone, but I've heard that the losses, they impact you more than the wins, right?
So I feel like when someone loses, it opens their eyes, like who is really with you in the good times and in the bad times. I mean, we don't like losing, right? But sometimes it happens. It's a fight game. We cannot control it. But it shows you who is there with you.
You felt that. I saw you feel that. I saw the look on your face.
I know there's some saying there is like, don't pay too much attention who's there during the wins, but look closely who's there when there's a loss.
Everyone is congratulating you when you win, but sometimes the phone doesn't have one message when you lose.
Right.
It just sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, perhaps someone like Jack is feeling that today, right? Like he's like the king of the world a few months ago, and it seems like he has a really good team around him.
Like I was at that whatever you want to call it, after party last night, but it was in a little Aussie bar, actually not far from here, and they had a section to themselves, and it was like a lot of like families, their kids running around. And Tim Simpson is his manager,
Legend,
and he was like pointing out, oh, that these guys went to school together, and a bunch of them had traveled to every fight since the Contender Series. They're a very like tight crew.
Amazing.
Cool. And his brother I think does most of the coaching, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see like someone from Perth, from a gym there, going on to become a world champion. We lost it, but if he can get it back, it's I like to see like when it's a small gym that can do that. You've got the mega gyms out there. It's hard for us to kind of compete with the resources they have. So to see like a small gym being able to get somebody just with grit and skill and technique and be able to get all the way to the top, it's I find it very inspiring. And I know, speaking to other coaches, you sometimes feel like, oh, how can we ever compete with those mega gyms? But sometimes that happens.
It's possible.
Sometimes it is possible. Yeah. You guys are proving it.
You such a global sport as well. There's no real other sport where it's an Australian guy fighting a Dagestani guy. There's just fighters
in New York
everywhere.
Yeah.
In New York, if you have American football is just, it's American, or my own sport, hurling, it's just in Ireland, but MMA, truly a global sport. Yeah.
It's actually, I think, the only sport where it's like you can come to New York. The main event is Dagestani against an Australian. Co-main is a Chinese fighter against someone from Kyrgyzstan.
Amazing.
And like in boxing, you kind of have to book based on the region, right?
Yes.
Like you can't go to the 3 Arena with a card like that. You know what I mean? You have to have Katie on there. And that's what I love about the UFC in particular, that you can go to it's the brand and people know what it is. So yeah, I absolutely love that. By the way, the goal now for you guys, you've linked up with John. Are you trying to link up with other people in other regions? Or are you set now? What is the goal
I'm sure
now for
eventually
the men?
we're going to keep growing with what we're doing with John. We're going to take over Europe and then maybe link up with some other guys, be taking over the world. That's the plan.
We're not here to take part.
Yeah.
We're here to take over.
I've heard this. Anyone in America, or do you not need help there?
Yeah, we have a team here in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're fully set like here in America, Mexico, and now Europe.
Amazing. Islam or Khabib? Who wins?
Islam.
Islam. Wow, you didn't even...
Oh, I've always thought this. Islam is such a great fighter. I feel like Khabib is like the GOAT, but I feel like Islam has that wrestling and that better striking. Like, with all due respect, Khabib did great things, but I think Islam is surpassing him.
Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a fun debate. It's one that we'll never quite know the answer to. Obviously they train together. My understanding from people who train with them is like Khabib has like the big brother thing over him.
Yes.
And he'll always have that. But if they were not connected, the matchup would be so fascinating.
So
we'll never see
entertaining.
it. But I think my personal opinion is that Islam has surpassed Khabib in terms of resume, credentials, the second belt, the 16 in a row, and maybe the skills are a little bit more refined. That's no knock on Khabib, but I feel like we didn't quite see the full evolution. He cut it a little bit short, and Islam kind of took the baton.
Yeah.
And perhaps next it'll be Michael against Islam.
Yeah.
And you'll be there. How does he win? How does that fight go? What do you think? Knockout.
Yes, that's fast.
You got to be confident in your guys, right?
For sure.
I love it. Well, again, the website is uppersportsmanagement.com.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just would say for any pro fighter out there, why wouldn't you upload your profile? All it's going to result in is you getting more opportunities, more fight offers, no charge. Why wouldn't you do it?
Uppersportsmanagement.com. That's where you upload everything.
Yep.
What do you need to upload, by the way? Do you need like a resume? Do you need something?
Yeah, there's a form there.
Okay,
you know,
it's pretty
your
easy.
topology.
Okay,
the usual
that
things.
stuff.
We verify that it's you, that it's not somebody pretending to be someone else.
Yes.
So it's just it's a short, painless process. Get on there, get going. Promoters start going there. If you're looking to fill your card, let's go.
Incredible. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good
very
luck.
much.
Great to have you in studio. Great to meet you for the first time. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for your
having
help
me.
having some of the fighters. I'm trying to get Michael on the show in studio here.
We're trying to arrange it.
I understand he's very busy. He's in
Yes.
demand. But while he's in town, it would be a good opportunity. If not, no
he comes
problem.
very often here to New York.
does he?
So if anything, we can just hook it up.
No problem. I appreciate that. Thank you again for this.
Enjoy.
My guys are probably going to finish it in one sitting, but
That's the best
No
of
one-
the best. You're not gonna find a better mezcal.
really?
Yes.
What makes it so special?
I mean,
It's from you guys. Is there something? I'm not a connoisseur, so should I be looking for something or
you'll just enjoy it.
enjoy? Okay, that's it.
I cannot give like a lot of
secrets.
details right now because we're gonna take like another hour.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you guys. Congratulations, and appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
If there's
so much.
anything
I
we can
really
do to help,
appreciate
please
that.
do let us know.
Appreciate it.
Caesar and the great John Kavanagh here. Great to have them in. We'll take a quick break. Much more to come. We got to talk about Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
Wow, we're just talking
Wow.
about that.
Crazy. Who wins that one, by the way?
Has to be Anthony. God.
Joke.
We'll see. We'll take the temperature of
That
everyone.
was a joke, eh?
I know. I got that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.